Hi, I'm James with Tumbl Trak. As you can see, we have a different variety of beams. So I just want to help you make an informed decision about which beam is going to be the best for you and your athlete. So let's start looking at these different features of each beam. All right, so first up, our focus is on the sectional beam. Our sectional beam is our most economical beam. It is very inexpensive and is truly intended for beginners. First off, the top of the beam is 4 inches, very similar to what the competition beam is. It tapers out to provide added stability out to 8 inches. It is 4 inches high from top to bottom, and each section is 4 feet in length. The inner core of it is actually a dual density foam. You have a section of firm foam on top, which gives us stability for the athlete in use, and then it has a nice soft under piece, which will provide some cushion when they're working on some of those skills and those landings. The other thing you'll notice on the bottom, we have a loop Velcro, and on the opposite side, we have a hook Velcro flap. This allows the beams to be connected together, like so, to turn any beam from a 4 into an 8-foot beam. You can continually add them to make it whatever length you need. Here we have our Addie Beam. This is quickly becoming one of our best-selling beams, and you'll find out why. The top of the beam is 10 centimeters in width, which is the same as a competition-style beam, or very close to 4 inches. It is a little over 5 inches off the ground, and as you can see, it is 8 feet in length. One of the other things you'll notice is the shape of the beam. It has those nice rounded edges and sides. The suede is the same feeling as the competition-style beam as well. So this is an all-around amazing beam for an athlete that wants to have the same feeling that they have in the gym. Next, you'll notice the feet. Really flat, low profile, and wrapped in a really nice soft rubberized material to help safeguard your athlete in case they step on them. There is some assembly required. As you can see, there are these 2 bolts which do come in your package. And then lastly, we do offer an additional riser. This will extend the height of the beam an additional 7 inches, which makes the top of the beam 1 foot off the ground. Very easy to assemble and very fun to use. Here we have the Brianna Beam. The Brianna Beam is 10 centimeters in width at the top, or that 4 inches you're commonly used to hearing. It is 7 inches off the ground, and it is 8 feet in length. This is a solid wood core, making it extremely strong and sturdy. It is wrapped with a really nice foam, which is going to provide your athlete a lot of comfort when they're working on their skills, as well as a really nice soft type suede. If you look at the legs, you'll notice nice, really studded legs, wrapped in a clean vinyl material, padded, so that way if your athlete does step onto it, they're gonna feel safe. There's also no assembly required, so you just have to unpackage and slide that beam right into those legs. It'll Velcro together, making it really easy to set up. One of the other benefits is that you can actually attach 2 of these beams together to make a 16-foot long beam. Unvelcro the flap on the one end, insert the dowel that is provided with your packaging, and then Velcro the 2 beams together. This will make sure that the connection between the 2 is strong and secure. On the bottom of the legs, you'll notice that there is Velcro. This will help secure this beam to any closed loop carpet, like our carpet bonded foam here. However, if you are using it on any hard surfaces such as a wood flooring or on top of a tumbling mat of ours, we do provide this additional non-skid strip that you can just Velcro over top of that hook Velcro. This will help provide some resistance to any slipping that will happen. Lastly, if your athlete does want to work on the beam at a higher level, we do also sell these additional optional risers. Once again, no assembly is required, as we just have Velcro that'll match to the base of your other legs. And this will help raise your beam an additional 6 inches, making the top of the beam 1 foot in height. Here we have our laser beams. These are extremely useful, and kids are loving working on them. The first thing you'll probably notice is that this is actually a lot wider than that 10 centimeters or 4-inch beam. The laser beam is 7 inches wide, which provides the athlete a little extra room as they're working new skills. It is 2 inches in height, and we actually have 2 different lengths here. This one is our laser beam light, which is 8 feet in length, and the one still in the box is our 16 foot. Now you can notice this box isn't 16 foot because there is some assembly required, but we just wanted to make it compact and easy to ship to your house. The Laser Beam Pro is still 7 inches wide and 2 inches in height as well. The main thing about the laser beam is it is very focused on education. We wanted to make a beam where an athlete could work on new skills that they're just beginning to work on, but we wanted to make sure that they would be comfortable and confident. You'll notice there are some numbers here, 2, 3, and 4. We also have lines 1 and 5 on the edges. The white lines for 2 and 4 are 10 centimeters in width, which is the exact same as a competition style beam. So as your athlete is working on this beam, they will know whether they would have been on the beam or off. The low profile of the beam also makes it very safe for an athlete to work on. If they do go a little crooked, they don't have very far to be right on the floor, making your athlete feel safe and confident as they are working. The laser beam light does have an additional Velcro flap, and this is to attach 2 laser beam lights together to create a 16-foot beam. This is a great option if you are a home that needs to put them away or doesn't have a designated 16-foot length space. Here we have our laser beam conversion top, and although it looks like a floor beam, this is actually not intended to be used on the floor, but rather attached to a competition style beam. It has that same 7 inches in width as the other laser beams, but you'll notice it has that hollow core which would fit right around a competition style beam. All you have to do to attach it is slide it over the beam, close the buckle, and then tighten it, and you are good to go. This will allow the athlete the ability to work on some of those skills with added width when they are high off the ground. This will attach to any competition style beam as well as our Addie Beam. Lastly, I just wanted to go over some of the commonly asked questions that people ask us throughout any given day. So first, what type of matting under my beam is appropriate? This is a great question. We get this asked all the time. And truly, the most important piece is safety. So make sure that wherever you're putting your beam, you have enough area around so your athlete isn't going to hit anything. Secondly, make sure the matting under your beam extends to the side a couple feet as well. Because if your athlete is going off the beam, they're generally going to be stepping off to the side. So make sure that there is wide enough space. Lastly, make sure that the beam or the matting for your beam is going to be long enough or even longer than the beam itself. With most of our beams being 8 feet, the minimum we would recommend is a 4x8 mat. We also sell a 5x10, which would be our true recommendation if space allows. The next question we get is, are we able to use this outside? Well, we don't recommend it being used outside, mainly because the weather will deteriorate the suede faster. It can be used, but once again, going back to safety, making sure you have proper matting underneath and ample space around so your athlete isn't going to hit anything. It is highly recommended that you communicate with a coach that you may be working with, making sure that they're aware of the space and the requirements that you would need. Next one, what is the closest to a competition beam that you have? So the closest one that we have is our Addie Beam. It has that same nice rounded sides on the shape. We have the really nice top with the rounded corners. The suede is almost identical to the competition style beam. So all in all, your athlete is going to feel like this is like your competition style beam. We do have the Brianna Beam as well, where really the main difference is going to be the feel of the suede. This is a lot softer, but also the sides are flat. So that's really the only difference. But once again, the Brianna Beam you can extend to 16 feet, which will give them that same feeling of a competition style beam. Another common question we get is about our packaging, as most of these are meant to be a gift. So our boxing does not come with a photo of the product in it, but it does have our markings of our name, so if your child can read, that might be the only thing that would give away what the product is. The last question we commonly get asked is, how do you clean the suede on your beam? This is a great question. What we recommend is using a soft bristle brush to first brush off any of the additional debris, whether it be chalk or dirt, anything like that, get it nice and smooth. Next, you can use a solution of water and soap. Make sure you mix those together. If you do have a spray bottle, you can use that to spray the top of the beam. Try not to oversaturate it where the beam is soaked wet, but just make sure that it is damp. At that time, you can pat it a little bit. If you need to rub any overly dirty areas, go ahead and do so, and then just let it air dry. At the end of this process, get your soft bristle brush again and wipe everything off to make sure that it's clean. I hope that this has been educational and that has helped answer any of your questions. However, if you do have any remaining questions, please give our sales reps a call. We would love to help out and make sure that you're making an informed decision about which beam is going to work best for you, your athlete, and your home. And remember, train smart.